Hey there guys, it's Wasted Potential 616 with another comic review. Let's get straight into it. Avengers issue 1. It's the big relaunch and the introduction to the whole heroic age, which is Marvel's new status quo. And yeah, I enjoyed this book. It wasn't without its flaws, but it was good. It's written by Bendis, of course, and beautifully illustrated by John Romita Jr. Now, it's not only sets up its own storyline and premise, but a little bit of the whole heroic age with Steve Rogers at the beginning, sort of picking various superheroes, letting them know that he's picking them for his agenda, which leads into various other titles, most titles with Avengers in it. Now, what Bendis does here, this is an introductory issue. Bendis sets up a new status quo with Steve Rogers in charge of all the superheroes. He sets up this Avengers team, and he lays down the story, the whole story arc quite well. There's some really nice character interaction. Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, their various problems are handled quite well. We get to see briefly why Clint Barton is now Hawkeye and not Ronin anymore, and just various little character moments, not too much, but it's nice. Then it goes straight into the storyline with Kang the Conqueror appearing, which I think is a very good move, having a classic Avengers villain, making it feel more like an Avengers title, because that was a bit of a flaw, or maybe not a flaw, but a factor of the whole new Avengers, especially since Civil War. They were kind of a street level team. They were on the run and hiding. They didn't feel like the Avengers. But this does feel like an Avengers team and an Avengers book. Now, when Kang appears, there's a great moment where Thor just blasts him with a hammer. Really nice, illustrated by John Romita Jr. And there's a nice moment here where Spider-Man, Spider-Woman are like, wow, cool, you know. And Hawkeye says, that will be what it's like to be on the Avengers with Thor. And I almost feel like that's a little nod to the audience as well, you know. This isn't the new Avengers, this is the proper Avengers, you know. We've got Thor in it, and you know, I just get that feeling, you know. It was a nice moment. Now then, Kang lays it down. Basically, the Avengers' children from the future become tyrants that defeated Ultron, who took over the world, and they become worse than him. And they ultimately kill his future self, Mortis, which we see in the beginning. And quite interestingly enough, the character designs for these Avengers' children are the same from Avengers Next Avengers, which was the animated movie, which I actually saw the other day. It's okay, you know. Marvel never seem to be able to do the magic that DC do with their animated movies, but some are good. But anyway, I'm going off the point. So yeah, and you know, Kang's portrayed well. He lays down, you know, the storyline that the Avengers are going to need to stop their children in the future. There's some time travel talk, you know. It can get a little bit tedious, but it was handled well in this, and we're left with what the Avengers need to do. They need to get their newest member to help them time travel to stop their kids. And I think this new member is going to be Captain Marvel, the new Captain Marvel, you know, former Marvel boy, but we'll see. But there we go. It's all laid out for us. Then there's the last page with well, I don't want to spoil it the inclusion of the character, which makes things interesting. It illustrates to the audience that there's more to the storyline than what Kang has said, adds an interesting element to it. So, you know, if you weren't interested in the story so far, that one last page really sucks you in, or at least it did me. So, you know, really good stuff. There's also, did I say the stuff with Wonder Man? Also, in the beginning, we see Wonder Man refusing Steve Rogers, not wanting to join the Avengers, which is interesting, adding a new element to the story, which is going to be picked up upon later on, judging by the cover to the second issue. And you know, and also you'd think at least one of the heroes would refuse him as well, so that's interesting to have in there. So Bendis does a pretty good job here, setting things up, establishing everything, but it lacks action. I think there's that cool moment with Thor, but that's about it. And you know, it would have been nice for this first issue to see these characters in action. You know, it could be argued that they're kind of, you know, building it up or whatever, but you know, that's what Bendis titles lack a lot of the time. Action, there's too much talking. You know, now I know this is a setup issue and he's setting up the storyline. You see, Bendis had space for an action scene. At the end, we have this written prose piece of the Avengers history. It's sort of like a documentary piece, where various characters are interviewed and they sort of go over the forming of the Avengers. It's okay and it's written well, but I can't help feeling it's a bit unnecessary. Okay, maybe for new readers, but it's been done so many times before. Instead, could we not have had, when Thor hits Kang, all the Avengers jump in to fight Kang, have a little bit of an action scene, and then he pulls out this weapon. Did I mention that? I can't remember. Well, he pulls out this weapon. It's a really cool concept, and pulls out a weapon which Iron Man hasn't invented yet, and so he's scared. He's like, oh, we can't touch him. And that's a cool concept. That was really good. Kudos. But we could have had a bit more action first, you know. So there we go. You know, good setup, brilliant artwork. The colorist, something White, what was his name? Dean White does a really good job. It really complements John Romita Jr.'s pencils, really good. And John Romita's pencils are brilliant. You know, he conveys so much emotion in faces and expression without needing to do too much line work. His composition is great. All the character design, brilliant. You know, really good stuff. And the thing about this title, you know, because it has Marvel's top writer, or one of them, it's debatable whether in quality. I know a lot of people don't like Bendis, but he's considered Marvel's top writer. We have one of Marvel's top artists, John Romita Jr., which I don't think can be debated. And we have, you know, Marvel's premier characters all in one book. You know, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Wolverine and Spider-Man. Whether Wolverine and Spider-Man should be in Avengers is debatable, but they are Marvel's top characters, you know. So we have all these top characters, top writer, top artist, you know. This feels like Marvel's premiere book, it really does. Let's just hope it lives up to that. Bendis has set things up beautifully, you know, quite well here. Let's hope it lives up to the potential. You know, please don't drop the ball, Bendis. You know, this feels like a little bit like Grant Morrison's JLA run, beginning of the run, you know, where we had the top DC characters in one book, you know, and a top writer and a top artist. So let's hope this lives up to its potential. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye.